Hello everyone and welcome back to the 7th part tutorial of the beginner guides into Maya. So this time we're going to learn some more stuff. What I want to do is I want to create a new polygon cube here, and I want to show you the different ways we can duplicate items inside Maya. So we have this cube here, okay, and I'm going to rotate my camera that way so you can see it. And in order to duplicate, you can use the edit menu here. Okay, you have duplicate here. You have duplicate special, and you have duplicate with transform. And we will, introduce all the features and explain a little bit more in depth what they means. So right now, we can grab this, and I will switch to move tool. Okay, I need to be in English language, and let's do it that way. So if I'm gonna hit the Control and D, okay, so hold on the Control and press D, this will duplicate a new item into our scene. Now, right now you can't really see it because the duplicating thing is occurring exact at the same point where the first object is. So in order to see the duplicated item, you need to basically pull it off the first one. So instantly, whenever you hit the Control and D, the new duplicated item has been selected, and the original one will be unselected. So whatever we have right now selected is the new duplicated item. So I'm gonna pull this arrow of the move tool and pull this duplicated item over here. Okay, so this is just the first and very easy way to duplicate items. Now you can press G and it will do the same thing as like your last function. So you used the last option that you used was to duplicate something. So it's duplicated. Pressing G was repeating the same function. So right now I was just duplicated again. So you can press G once more and it will duplicate the same feature of the original one again. Okay, now the G button, basically what it does, it just repeats the last function you used in Maya. So this is all you need to know. Whenever you press G, it will repeat any other function that you used in Maya. If it's duplicating something, if it's extracting something, if it's I don't know, for instance, extruding something, whatever feature you used, or whatever option, this is what it will do. The G button will repeat that function. So now we're going to move on to duplicate special. Now, duplicate special is controlled with Shift D. So whenever you're going to take an original piece like this one here, and you press Shift D, it will create a new cube, and you want to move it to some location, let's say here, okay? And you want to press Shift D again, and what it will do, it will calculate the same distance in between those two cubes of the original one, and will repeat the same movement towards the same direction that you moved the other second cube. So if I'm going to press Shift D, it will just copy along the same direction. Now, what beauty about this is that you can also delete those, and you can do this also as for moving it, like, let's say I'm gonna Shift D, duplicate this, move this copy over here, but move it upwards here. So if I press Shift D, the copies of this will start to follow this direction, okay? Now, I'm gonna go back a few steps backwards, and now I will show you what more you can do with this. You can also take this shape and Shift D, duplicate it, move it here and move it here, and just add a little bit of rotation that way. So now if I'm gonna press D, Shift D, it will continue this rotation, but because it was a very slight rotation, in any case, it will start and duplicate this and will rotate the shape in this direction, as you can see. So I'm just keeping pressing Shift D in order to get this result. Okay, so this is what it does. Anyway, it's very nice, you know, duplicate feature. You can add, you can do a lot of stuff with it, and I don't know, some kind of nice shapes following this. But it's mainly used also in most common uses is like creating some kind of a spiral kind of stir. So you can take this shape here, Shift D, duplicate this. Let's say I'm gonna hold on the D and the V key and put this you know, the pivot over here, and because it's here now, I will be able to bring this a little bit up and use it as my pivot here. So I will rotate it and move it that way, and now Shift D, and it will create a spiral kind of stairs at the same pivot which is here. So from this point, what is left for you to do is maybe get rid of this one or continue the spiral, but you will be able to grab something like a cylinder, okay, move it over here and set this cylinder as the pivot of the stairs, which is pretty smart thing to do. Well, I guess. Okay, so it will get through the entire shapes. Well, maybe not all of them, but somewhat. You'll need to position this as like in the center of this. I don't know, something that way. Anyway, this is just simple things that you can do with it. Now, there is one more thing I want to show you, and these are the instancers. So whenever you create something and you do want to use the duplicate special options, okay, here, you can create an instance. So it's the same as Shift D, as you can see, the duplicate Control Shift D, okay. Earlier we used the duplicate with transform, right now we are using the duplicate spatial. So sorry about that. Anyway, duplicate special, Control Shift D, what it will do, if you're gonna open the option box of it, you will be able to choose instance, okay. Now you can choose if to change any of those translate or rotation or scale values, but let's say we're gonna set it as it is, just making sure that the instance is still here, is ticked, okay? Click apply, it will create an instance. I'm gonna switch, well, let's duplicate special maybe. I'm gonna move this over here. I just wanna make sure that I don't have 2 copies. Well, I do have 2 copies. So we have 2 copies, and that's okay. I'm gonna click on Control Shift D again and move it over here and so on. And what's nice about instancer is that you can create like few cubes like so, but whenever you're gonna deal with the original one, and you're gonna grab it, and let's say I'm gonna modify the vertices here, you can see that all of them at once are changing as the first one. Now I do think that whenever you're gonna do this with this one, it will also react to this. So it doesn't matter already with which one of them you're gonna deal, all of them will react accordingly. Okay, so this is what instancer are, and you can rotate this and you can see it's not really doing anything, but when it comes to modifying them, it will react. Okay, so anyway, that's instancer, and yeah, this is pretty much it for duplicating, and there are probably other things that I can show you, but right now I'm gonna settle with this and we will continue at the next part. Thank you for watching, have a good day, and see you.